So how's the process been rehabbing from the doctor and getting back into the swing of things?
Yeah, I've been cleared for a little bit now. So first couple of weeks were rough, but after that, it's one of those rehabs that you had to progress pretty fast because they don't want you to heal up stiff. So other than that, I feel like this is a lot easier than the ankle that I had a few years ago. So feeling good, moving good, and yeah, happy about where I'm at.
What's it mean to you to have Jason back again? I knew there were some concerns that maybe last year would have been it. From your perspective, what's it like to have him back?
He's such a huge piece of what we do, what we've been doing for the past 10 years. So having him in there, he's just, he's obviously a great talent, but he does such a good job as being like another coach in the O-line room. So helping develop the young guys coming in, teaching guys things so they can hit the ground running when they get out on the field. So that component of what he does, I think, is underestimated. Probably one of the smartest football players that have been around. So having him back is just huge for everybody involved.
At right guard, what do you look for in that spot?
Yeah, you just got to – it's all about consistency. I think, with both these guys coming in, they're, new to the position. And really it goes down to angles, it goes down to communication, a lot of it, making sure everybody gets the call. But like Landon was saying, it's totally different, guard and tackle. Tackle, you have a lot more space to operate. Guard is, you're kind of fighting in the phone booth. You obviously got to be strong, stout, and, really good balance of body control. But the communication factor is big, just echoing all the calls and making sure everybody's on the same page.
What are your early impressions of Cam and how he's doing that?
He's so damn strong. I don't think he's front squatted close to 550 the other day. So just having a guy that's strong and the thing about him being 6'3" or whatever, I feel like he has natural leverage on some of the defenders, low center of gravity, so he's able to get under guys, and obviously has that power. So the more reps that he gets, the better he's going to be. But as far as the explosion and the athletic traits, he's unbelievable.
When you're on the field with him, where does that power show up? Where do you notice it the most?
Yeah, mostly in the run game. For what we're doing, we like to move guys off the ball, move the down guy on the way to the linebacker. So usually trying to be explosive, moving those guys like that. And then pass protection, the stuff that we have done, a lot of it's about, being on consistent set lines, being able, like Landon was talking about, passing off the stunts in the games. A lot of times we get too much separation between the guard and the center, the guard and tackle. Guys can penetrate that gap. So a lot of that's about taking, the proper set lines and knowing your angles. But, with Cam, it's just, and Tyler, it's just the more reps they get, especially getting all the reps now, they can, have a jump whenever training camp comes around.
How did the contract extension come about, and how long of a process was that?
It wasn't too long of a process, a few weeks. Obviously, we had to get some stuff worked out and done, but, it's a good situation for both. Lower the cap room, I got a little bit more money, and at the end of the day, I feel like the reason why we're so good, we know how to work the numbers and get players and maneuver the cap room and allowing us to, obviously have a good team. That's what, I feel like Howie's put us in a position the last few years to have really good success with all the guys that we've acquired.
You think that'll be
the Oklahoma connection, but it seemed like you and Jalen had a pretty good connection early on. What's your perspective on how far he's come over these 3 years and getting the big contract?
Yeah, as far as his demeanor, like I said, man, he stays pretty consistent as far as how he acts and goes about his business. He's very professional in here, and just one thing he does, man, he's always just working his tail off. So, with that, let the actions speak a lot louder than words. And he'll say a little bit every now and then when he needs to, but just how he conducts himself, I feel like, his presence in the huddle, how calm he is, that kind of sets a tone for everybody to be calm, focused, and be ready to play one play at a time. Kind of how he approaches it, I feel like it kind of infiltrates everybody involved.
You've played with Brandon Brooks for a number of years together, but since then, you've kind of had quite a few guys moving in right guard with Isaac last year, and then a bunch of guys filling in for Brandon when he was hurt the year before. What's that like? Having to adjust to a new right guard often.
Yeah, everybody has their certain traits. Brooks was so big and strong and so efficient. No wasted steps. And Isaac's a big guy too. Just his quickness and his knowledge of the game was unbelievable. Having him and Kelce next together was just being able to diagnose defenses and making the correct calls in the certain situations. Obviously, players are different. They have different styles. We're not asking Cam to be Brooks or be Isaac, be your own guy. But I feel like within, the three guys, the traits they have is, super quick, athletic, and that's the guys that Stout's, been looking for, guys that are explosive. And I think with Cam, like I said, him being a little bit, around 6'3", he gets natural leverage under some of these taller guys, and his strength allows for us to create some good movement. So, like I said, it's going to be training camp when we get in pads is when we're really going to be able to tell a lot more as far as, getting to the football stuff and seeing, how all this stuff in OTAs kind of carries over. So we still got a ways to go, but I'm excited about where we're at.
11 years into your career, do you still feel like there's still more strides to take, or is it
Yeah.
just trying to avoid regression?
No, I think suffered a little bit just with the ankle, maybe my run blocking a year or two ago. I think it improved last year, but I'm really trying to get back on track to where I was feeling comfortable like I was early in my career run blocking, not having to favor, one leg or the other. So I feel like I complete that part of my game and then keep adding to the, obviously how I'm blocking and pass protection. But a lot of my game now is trying to be a smarter player. And so, whatever you may have in diminished attributes, you can make up with timing and that sort of thing. So, I'm happy where I'm at. I mean, 33 is old, but, I still feel like I got a few good years left.
You've been through several regimes. How do you feel about having no minicamp?
It was, a lot different than what it used to be whenever Chip was here. Pretty much full tilt boogie every day, kind of like spring ball in college. And then, as the rules progressed, I feel like, player safety is kind of at the forefront. But, we're going to have a lot of football in front of us. It starts in July and last year, ended in February. So a lot of time to get the football in. But, man, we're enjoying where we're at. The workouts are really good. I feel like our strength staff does a good job of preparing players and developing players. And, as far as that goes, I feel like it propels us to be in a good spot, healthy and ready to go for training camp.
To follow up on the extension, that'll keep you under contract here through 2026, you'll be 37, I guess. Do you envision that being your last contract here, and do you think that'll make you bigger?
Hopefully. 37, that'd be pretty old. And then again, JP is 41, so, always chasing. But, man, I'm super fortunate to be where I'm at. Like I said, being the second half of my career, my goal now is to develop the younger guys and bring those guys along in the O-line room and, be a better leader. But, man, it's crazy how fast time flies. It doesn't feel like I'm in my 11th year, but here I am, and, you don't realize how fast it goes. So very fortunate.
At this point in your career, do you spend time thinking about what your legacy might be? And if so, what do you want it to be?
I don't know, just a guy, that loved his teammates and, loved the city of Philadelphia, loved playing. Just a guy that, grinded hard. Just try to be a good example, on the field and help guys off the field. So just be a good human off the field, I guess.
With your rehab, you said you had to accelerate things pretty quickly. What did that look like? Like how fresh off of surgery?
Yeah, it's usually like the first day of surgery. Or the next day, you're supposed to walk a certain amount. I had trouble, but a lot of guys do. Try to walk like at least half a mile or something the first day. Last thing they want you to do is like get surgery and not move and kind of heal up stiff. That's their worst fear is, healing up stiff. And when you do that, you might be a lot of scar tissue broken up later. So I think the more progressive you are early in the rehab, the less stuff you have to deal with, in the later half of it. But I think with the surgery, I think the chance of re-tearing is like around 1%, or that's what Dr. Myers was saying. So relatively low. After that, it's after the first couple of weeks, it wasn't too bad.
In the last couple months, there's been a big crackdown on sports gambling around the league. What's been the messaging around here in terms of that, and how do you guys policing?
I try to stay off. I never had any gambling on my phone. I've been to a casino maybe once or twice, but I just think being away from that stuff in general is a good idea. But I think the league made it clear now, kind of what the rules are. I think it was kind of, made clear as it is now, I guess, with all the recent suspensions. But I think players now kind of know it's a no-fly zone, so hopefully it's understood more and more.
I don't know if you heard
Last one,
Kelce
please.
and Chris Long's podcast. Kelce was talking about you as you said you're underappreciated based on like the career that you've had. When did you start to see it shift where that appreciation started to come?
It just, the whole thing was like you can play good at right tackle. Like I feel like I had really good early years, but it was always the right tackle, left tackle dilemma. And so maybe I would have had more accolades if I was a left tackle all along, and maybe that would have, been earlier. But sometimes things take time to develop. So I feel like maybe last year was kind of got put on the map a little bit. But like I said, when I came in, the right tackle, left tackle dilemma was a lot bigger gap than what it is now. So I feel like having to close that out was probably the big thing, and it took some years to do. Thanks, guys.